Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. And this is Tristan. He's a Corgi, and we're here live in Provincetown, Massachusetts, one of the most dog-friendly places in the United States, albeit perhaps the world, where we are doing an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And you can see behind me, if you can, way down the beach into beautiful Provincetown Center. There are dogs playing and running and walking because it's a perfect time of day for a morning walk with your dog on the beach. And let's get Tristan in the picture. Tristy. It's hard to have you and the beach in the picture at once because you're short. And at home he falls off the pillows. Here he's falling off his rocks. So here we are. Oh, Tristan. Stay up here. He does not really fit. I wanted to do one live from the beach so you can see how beautiful it is here. We've had quite an exciting yesterday. Plenty of dogs in town. We met a big fluffy Corgi, and the people are lifetime Corgi owners and actually have had 2 dogs with DM. We had some commiserating about our stories of our dogs with DM, and I met another standard Schnauzer. This one was gray and kind of small. So it's kind of interesting that I keep meeting these dogs that are like the dogs I know at home. And more Cavaliers, of course, and Dachshunds of every type. Wire hair, silky hair, regular hair, red, black, no dapples, because I have dappled friends at home, but I didn't see any dapples here. And we had kind of a rough night of sleep. I'm so allergic to garlic, and I had some yesterday, and boy, my body just reacted. So note to self, don't eat things you're really allergic to, even in a small amount. So we had a rough night, but Tristan got lots of sleep. However, in the middle of the night, I felt something crawling on my arm, and I just kept scratching and moving, and I woke up and said, oh, gotta see what this is. It was a tick. So it was not attached to me or Tristan. Tristan was far across the bed from me. I think it must have gotten on my arm in the evening when I was out looking at some beautiful flowers. Even though I had a coat and long sleeves on, it could have easily gotten into my wrist and stalked its way up my arm in the middle of the night. What a bummer. So of course that freaked me out, which definitely interrupts one's sleep. Ticks are a real problem, and Tristan is cedar. It might be wearing off. I might have to re-cedar him. And I have not cedared myself, of course, and even if I did, a shower would have washed that off. Today it's about 56 or 7 here right now, but it's beautiful and sunny, and it's going to be a lovely day. We had a little bit of drama last night because there was a fire either at this place that's like a barbecue, hamburger, lobster roll place near the pier, or it started in one of my favorite coffee places, which sells sandwiches and things right next door. And there is a place called the Lobster Pot, which is a really famous restaurant in town. It's been here a really long time. Lots of people have had lobster dinners there over the years. And the people were still in the restaurant of the Lobster Pot with these big windows looking out at the fire in the building, maybe 20 feet away from them. And boy, it was really impressive to see how many fire trucks came and the amount of water they used to put the fire out. We were walking in town and saw big puffs of black smoke coming up at around 6:45, and they looked like some kind of weird diesel fume fire. So it was kind of interesting that, in fact, it came from a kitchen. Probably the grease started it, I don't know. But boy, it took a while to get that fire under control. All of town was blocked off because Provincetown really is one long street. It's about a mile long, called Commercial Street, with houses and galleries at one end, and as you get closer into town, there's shops, and then there's restaurants, and as you get towards the other end of town, it kind of fades back out to little food shops and hair salons and spas, and then becomes houses again as you get to the tip of Massachusetts. And this piece of land is not that wide, but it does stick far out into the Atlantic Ocean, and so it has its own kind of weather patterns, and it's really an amazing place. On this side where we are, it's pretty quiet because this is the bay side, you know, like Boston Harbor's just across there, and indeed boats come back and forth all day long. Oh, there's a dog in the beach behind us. And then the other side is the Atlantic Ocean, where the water is much more rough. And so, hi little guy. Tristan. Tristan. He's not always friendly on the beach, especially when he's occupied. Bisky, you're supposed to be smiling. Say hello to your people. So, we don't go over to Race Point very often, especially with a dog, because the seals come aground there, and boy, the smell of seafood when you're near seals, and they are very attractive to sharks. We haven't had as many sharks here in the past as we've had lately, because the seals are becoming much more numerous around Provincetown. And in fact, when we go in the middle of the summer over to the point across the bay here to my right, we often see seals swimming around, and we have a lot of people we go with that love to swim in the water, and you have to be really careful of sharks when the seals are around. They are a real shark magnet. And there's very few times when a shark has bitten a person on Cape Cod. Down near Chatham, where the seals are more numerous, and that's a little bit further down the Cape, not even halfway, there are more shark sightings. And this town is famous for being a fishing town. There's still working fishing boats that go out every day. They catch a lot of squid and cod and tuna and other fish. And of course, there are great whale watches here that you can go out on into the harbor and around the end of Provincetown in Massachusetts, and you always see lots of different kinds of whales. When I went last year, we saw minke whales, which are pretty unusual to see, so that was exciting. They're a little smaller. I really love them in particular, and they remind me of my dog Comet. So he had a special relationship with whales. When he had gone on whale watches, he would run to the side of the boat and bark, and the whales would come. And he did this many, many times over the course of his life. And even little Tristan went with him sometimes when we did this. So when I was in Hawaii and Comet had just recently died, we had whales swimming around our boat, which was fairly unusual, and they followed us in and out of the harbor where we were going to swim with spinner dolphins. And on the way back in, sure enough, a whale came right close to the boat and rolled over, showing us his pectoral fin, and sort of waved. And my friend was with me, who said, "I think that's your dog Comet saying hi." And I don't know. I think it was, and I also think the whale was saying hi, but it was very unusual for a whale to come that close to the boat. So whales are really special to me. I'm wearing my whale necklace today, which you probably can't see, that I got here. It's aluminum, so it's really light. I can't wear very heavy things on my neck. Tristan, we can't get you in this frame no matter what we do unless you sit right up here. There we go. So Tristan is very anxious to get his walk on the beach this morning. He has not had his run yet. He just had a little business time here. And we have some sunning to do today over by our pool where we're staying. We had a good breakfast. Tristan had his requisite piece of bagel and some egg that he loves in the morning. And we've had lots of fun meeting nice dogs here. Tristan's met some friends. There's even a dog that looks like a Corgi, who is a big orange dog, and I said, "Oh my gosh, your dog looks so much like a Corgi." And the owner said, "Oh, this dog is good friends with a Corgi," who happens to be a Corgi in town that Tristan knows, named Cody. And then when we were walking in town yesterday, well, I was not with Tristan, but I was walking with some other people, I went past a house where a friend of mine lives. He has a Corgi named Bexley, and Bexley was the Corgi that is famous for teaching Tristan how to swim. Bexley loves the water. He swims out to get balls for 20 minutes or more every morning, way deep. He's a big, strong Corgi, very handsome Corgi. And Tristan loves Bexley. And of course, both of them think they're in charge, so there's a lot of barking. And Tristan gets very excited about other dogs' balls. But it is, in fact, Bexley who taught Tristan how to swim, because Comet was a big wader. He didn't like to go swimming. So Tristan owes Bexley a thanks. And in fact, in my book, Dances of the Heart, Connecting with Animals, you can read about Bexley teaching Tristan how to swim. And I was so honored because a store here in town called Womancraft that sells a lot of art and books and pottery and things made by women is going to take copies of my book, Dances of the Heart, Connecting with Animals, and sell them here, which is a real honor. I'm so happy to have my book in Provincetown, and I have to say, even though I'm biased, it is a good beach book because it's a lot of smaller chapters that you can read in bits and pieces, and there's a lot of pictures, and it's a fun book, it's a happy book, and so even though some of the animals die in the book, of course, but the book is a fun thing to bring to the beach in the summer to read. You know, it's not something complicated that you need to stay on top of to be able to enjoy it. So I was happy that the bookstore here, well, Womancraft Bookstore, took it, and I will bring them more copies later in the summer. So it looks like the tide is starting to come in a little bit. We should probably get Tristan out for his run before he misses it. He would hate that. We have a little problem here. You can walk the beach for, I don't know, 3 miles in one direction and a mile in the other direction. But when the tide comes in, there are various places where you actually have to wade to get, well, up to your waist in some places when the tide's fully in order to do that walk. So we like to get out before the tide starts to come in. And you can see some more dogs behind us in the background. Can't see much of Tristan today. But anyway, we are happy to be here and happy to have sunshine. My friend had a wonderful birthday party yesterday. In fact, their deck is within sight of me, facing you. And we will be back again tomorrow, maybe from the hotel, because we are leaving tomorrow and it is supposed to be rainy. And I will have another fun-filled morning trying to wrestle that bike onto my bike rack on the car. And I don't have anything significant to talk about this morning other than how wonderful it is to bring your dogs to the beach. I'm amazed when I go to the beach in New Jersey. Not only are dogs not allowed on the beach near my sister's area, Atlantic City, Ocean City, that area, but there is a specific, quote, dog beach that has high grass just loaded with ticks, and it's kind of swampy. And boy, if you have a big lab, maybe it's fun for him to run over there, but with the Cavaliers and Tristan Corgi, it's a treacherous place to let your dog run around. So it's just so different here. I'm so not used to having restrictions on the beach. And I think theoretically here you're supposed to keep your dog on the leash, but many people don't. And the dogs just run and play and scamper out in the low tide and have such a wonderful time. And it really is a dog paradise here. So I love coming here, and my dogs love coming here. And I know that there are only a very few hotels that take dogs, maybe 3 or 4. Harbor Inn, I think it's called, Bayshore, the place I'm staying, Cape Colony, and Surfside are the only places I know that take dogs in town anymore. There used to be more places, but it's such a wonderful place to come with your dog. There's a campground, and that's a great place to stay with your dog. A lot of people bring tents or big RVs and park there for a week or 2 and bring their dogs. So it is a really great place to have a dog here in Provincetown, Mass. So we will see you tomorrow. Hopefully I will be more wide awake and Tristan will be able to fit into the picture a little better. Say hi to your people, Tristan. He can't wait to go run. So thanks for joining us for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi. This is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner, live in Provincetown, Mass, where it is a beautiful sunny day. You can see down the beach to town. What a perfect place to take your dog for a walk. So enjoy a walk with your dog today. In most places it's been raining and stormy, and it's a wonderful day to get out and take a walk with your dog. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.